Зона фул ушла.
Не, моя.
У меня проезжают.
Нам нужно
Northern
выиграть.
Lights with some interesting comms. One of our teams that, well, they were in power grid day for the entirety of the game, but now in this phase 4 shift have found themselves having to rotate off down to the south is where they're going to go, the hard south, because phase 4 shift is not going to be friendly. It circles up pretty much right on top of Picado. That heart of Miramar, where we saw Digital Athletics make that quick rotation to just a few minutes ago, is going to be paying off in spades. They've got it locked down, at least on the western side of things, as many other teams start to approach. Adept going to be feeling the hurt from everyone down inside of the city. Left to pretty much retreat inside of these bits of divots on the hillside. Not where you want to be, especially with other teams starting to mount on the other height priority locations. The high ground Liquid over to the north and then off to the east. At least some of the members of Ents are starting to position as well.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it. I mean, a good old-fashioned Picado fight. Maybe we can get two teams straight clean 4v4. We'll have a punch out down there in the boxing arena, but we're going to be checking out Blaze Esports trying to make their attempt to reach this new circle. They're going to be coming in from the mountains of north. They do still have 4 alive. Also paying attention to the kill feed, like you mentioned. We got Tempest, we got DA, we got FaZe, we got squads on top of squads on top of squads already occupying Picado. And their main objective right now, Esquire, is just to keep everybody else out of Picado, because Picado pretty much the only safe cover right now in this new circle.
Yeah, and it really comes down to how safe do those teams inside of the city want to keep it. Well, they have a good opportunity if they continue to pound out the pressure in a 360-degree angle like they have been doing so far. Gigantin going to be on the move here from their northern location they've been holding on to for the last few minutes, but it's not going to be without pressure being pinned down on their location from the east. Morpheus trying to do his role of the team and hold off any of that, get out the cover fire, and open up something for Ghostar to move to. He's been able to now adjust, holding on to a position. A lone shack inside of the northern part of phase number 4 is going to be okay for now. There's still going to be 3 teams. Mark that now 4 if you continue to rather include El Gigantin Gaming. So still a very deadly northern side that these teams are going to have to push down into. And then you also still have the northwestern fight. That's going to be, I believe, the members of Tornado Energy fighting off against the members of the Northern Lights still. All 4 up to the Northern Lights, but the shots now start to come out. Fire was able to find one. Down goes a doozy. Down goes Melman as well. A quick 2-piece is a great way to at least shore up the northwestern border of phase number 4 right before we see that shift here in about 40 seconds.
Actual clutch player right there. What a nice peek, able to get that kill right there. Northern Lights already with 5 kills to their name, and they're just going to be, you know, making their way on into this new zone on the edge. They don't really have a rush right now. Their main objective, take out Tornado Energy, and there's 2 more members remaining for the squad. They're going to be on the defense, but here comes the motorcycle running them into their dirt example. Smash, brains, guts everywhere right there. And there we go, Northern Lights getting a squad wipe. You love to see it. 70 kills. That's a highlight play.
Yeah, a squad wipe and a highlight play. I was going to say, Dave, is something that they were able to pick up beautifully right there as we see the next shift pop off and come in down to the southeast. We will be going not exactly as hard of a shift as we saw in phase number 4, but it's still going to continue to maintain that devastating effect here on the 4 or 5 northern teams that are outside of the edges of phase number 5. 30 seconds on the clock for these teams to at least try to figure out what that rotation is going to look like. But Blaze is already going to start to at least feel the hurt from all around the area. Blaze hold off the damage from Unity. They've spotted out one of their players and are able to find Set. Down he goes, but with only 2 up for Blaze, they've got to be careful. Another squad starts to move in, and they were able to rather at least spot them out and put up the pressure and make a quick retreat back down to the opposite side of the hillside to get some cover.
Yeah, I mean, Blaze, they do have one Bronco that I can see they can potentially hop in, but it's like, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? I mean, this terrain, they're probably going to crash into a rock maybe, and you know what? Right behind them, RHA will just clean it up. They'll clean it up. They got front all just rushing this. Meanwhile, the blue zone going to be pushing them in their backside. Looks like Rip9, the last remaining member right there, trying to stand their ground, not able to do so.
No, about in the last maybe 30 seconds or so, we had 4 teams drop out. Team Liquid went out in 14th place. So 2 significant teams at least dropping out in the first few positions. It's going to be WTSG and Team Liquid, but many more dropped out thereafter. Left with now 11 squads in the lobby. 35 players alive. The 20-minute mark has been met, but the Northern Lights are still trying to push in from that northwestern border of phase number 5. Another squad that lies in their wake is going to be Omican Esports. However, this time they're going to be the squad trying to push in against the very well-held compound that Omican Esports is currently looking into. But the shots come out, and Northern Lights continue, Dave, to just impress the lobby altogether. Viewers and fans of the Northern Lights have to be absolutely ecstatic right now with what they are seeing. They're making quick work of every team here on the northwestern side of phase number 5, and Omican Esports looks like they're just going to be another statistic to add on to the Northern Lights as they continue this campaign of domination.
Yeah, I love how the Northern Lights are using all their smokes right now. They're tossing it in the compound. They're tossing it on the outside of the compound to block the sight lines from Omican, and that allowed them to just get so close to this building. And now, as we see them starting to reach that second floor, trying to take down that last remaining member, Cash Register from Omican. Knocked down so low. Oh, T-Bone's actually still alive as well, holding the stairs. But here we go. Cash is going to be flashed. I'm actually surprised they didn't opt into vault to that window.
You just got to trust it, you know.
Got it. Flash again. 2 flashes connecting on the Cash right here. Holding this angle in the corner here. Their partner T-Bone down on the stairs, and now it's down to Cash.
Perfect. Cash Register is able to find one at 1-for-1 trade right there, but Omican Esports is going to feel the hurt as they get dropped out in 10th place position. Northern Lights are able to pick up their 11th kill of their game. Another squad elimination here as they enter into Picado. Phase number 6. It's popped. 25 seconds on the clock. Teams on the western side of what was previously phase number 5 are going to have to shift over slightly towards the east. It'll be, I believe, Tempest looking pretty happy on the eastern side of Picado. The members at least phase inside of the motel going to be very spread, holding down those angles in whatever way possible. DA going to be a serious threat if they continue to have to trend over towards this direction.
We've got a quick glimpse of looks like Ents. We did see in the kill feed when Northern Lights were making that push, Ents were able to clean up a couple of stragglers up there in the north, so that they do have a couple kills, and now they're going to be on that eastern edge of the new zone. I would favor this. Well, looking at this terrain, yes, they have the high ground, but they don't really have much cover. So all it takes is a couple teams, and we do see there's actually about 2 other squads in the general area just to look uphill and maybe get a nice little tap onto one of the members of N. So I'm gonna have to pay attention to see if that squad can continue to survive. But right now, I'm really feeling FaZe's position here in the motel. I wonder what they can do with this.
Who's not feeling their position will be one of the remaining members of Navi. They lost a lot of their team early on, but now as we check back into them, still have a solo member remaining. A few smokes go out and a lone ditch for Yang here, just to try to advance that position to get inside of the safe zone. But with a few HP, is able to get the first aid, try to avoid the blue zone damage, but more importantly, avoid the bullet damage in front of you. Not able to do it, and down he goes. Exalt is able to find one more. Out goes the squad of Navi in 8th place position. 7 teams now remain. We're in placement points, baby.
Yep. With
27 players alive. A lot to still be gained or picked up here by these teams, but you have to be concerned about what Northern Lights, Dave, is going to be able to continue to pick up this game. Last time we checked into them, they were with, I believe, 11 kills or so, but they're going to have to continue to rotate, and they are going to meet battle after battle after battle, and so far, no one's really been able to contest them.
Yeah, I mean, now they're sitting on 12 kills. They are still going to be on the edge. They've pretty much been playing the edge the whole entirety of game number 1 here on Miramar, but you're going to have to continue to fight these teams that have been sitting in Picado for some time here, and that's kind of my concern. We still got DA 4 members alive down there in the south of Picado. They're going to be taking some shots on the FaZe right now, but if they can spot out one of these members from the Northern Lights, that's going to give it away, and you're going to have a ton of sights looking down on you. We are going to see the next circle pop. All these teams, or at least Northern Lights and DA and FaZe, they're going to have to relocate now as they are no longer favored.
This is going to be a pretty deadly fight coming through Picado right now. A few teams going to try to traverse these alleyways and try to keep a little bit of cover in between them and the teams that lie on the east, specifically that of FaZe Clan. This could be a huge opportunity for the members of FaZe with 3 kills to their name so far to pick up a massive amount of points, as well as rotate pretty easily up towards the north should they have the opportunity. But it's not going to be easy just yet. The action starts to pop off now inside of Picado with the blue zone. Just about 10 seconds from forcing this action if it doesn't pop off just yet, but Northern Lights is going to say no, we wait for no zone, and they're already starting to frag down from the arena on top of the members of Tempest.
Got Northern Lights pushing on into Tempest, pretty much utilizing that same plan that they did on Omicron, where they want to toss as many smokes as possible, except for this time around. Looks like these smokes are going to be going not in their favor, because one of the members from Northern Lights ran right through that molly there, burning to death, cooking like a steamy chicken. Not something you like to see here. And then DA going to be popping their heads out here, just trying to get a couple kills under their belt here. Still with those placement points. Let's listen in.
Bunlar bir şey söyleyeceğim. Yanımızdakileri sıkarken şey de yapabiliriz ya. Solumuza girebiliriz.
Nak var burada. Oynamamız lazım hadi.
Evet.
Smash gel. Gelin abi sağdan dışarıdan
Geldik
oynayalım.
geldik ben girdim.
Sağdan
Benzin
bitiyor
tarafı
ama
bize
ya.
sıkıyordu bu arada. Tam
Geldik.
direkt altlarına
Alt
girelim.
kata
istiyor.
girdim.
Oraya git.
Öbür evde sesler var.
Alta
Öbür
gir,
evde
alta
sesler
gir.
var.
Bekle mi?
Ucumuz tek,
Şuradayım.
dikkat edin.
Üst katta
Üst
muhtemelen.
kata çıkalım.
Beraber çık.
Nate.
Nereden geldin Nate?
Dışarıdan atlayacağım abi anlamadım. Mitra beni alabilirsin
Deriyle.
belki.
Deriyle.
Mitra.
Burası sağda.
Sürünmen lazım gibi ya.
Şu 4
Safe.
numaralı duvarda oynayabiliriz bir tane.
Smash yok.
Aldım ben.
Evin dışında duydum. Evin dışında duydum.
Ben koyayım.
Dışarıda burada var.
Ben safe'im hatta.
Man, Tempest really spelled disaster for not just Digital Athletics, but also the Northern Lights. Two of the teams trying to make their way through Picado. But all that remains is going to be Tempest, who has to quickly worry about what lies over to the east. Out goes many of the members of FaZe, possibly no, they got two left alive. It's going to be AT and Fuzzface to try to champion for their squad, but just on the opposite side of the hillside, inside of the dip, is going to be the members of Adept, trying to stay alive. Nate's really trying to fish out the presence of this squad, not able to find the damage just yet. They were able to avoid it somehow, some way. The two members of FaZe, now with 5 kills to their name, are trying to pick up another 2-piece, but down goes Fuzzface, the third party from Ents. Tixu with the beautiful shots for the Mini 14 will be ringing true and dropping down and leaving one member left to FaZe on their feet. Mark that none as AT gets dropped as well. FaZe Clan out in 5th place position, leaving us with now 3 teams because Exalt went out right thereafter. And with this phase 6 shift, I believe it was, Dave, up towards the north, just got gifted a beautiful circle. And since that point, they've been able to hold off any push coming in from the west. And Dave, they're very, very close to walking away with game number 1. It's a few minutes off, but can they do it? Another 4-stack of Tempest with 14 kills. Holy cow, what is going on in this lobby?
Yeah, I mean, Tempest pretty much the only survivors to make it on out of Picado. And like you mentioned, 14 kills to their name. We do have Ents on the opposite end of the circle. They're going to have a couple kills to themselves as well. All 4 members alive. Then, of course, we got our 2 duos right smack in the middle. So pretty big fight erupting right now. We did see Pixel 1K get taken down and out. So that's going to not go in the favor of Tempest. Gonna see the next circle. It's gonna be right smack in the middle. So I'm hoping that these teams still have their smokes, because you are going to need them so bad right now.
Just saw our center circle collapse point, what these teams are going to be having to work with this specific terrain. Very unique on this hillside, not a lot of hard cover to get behind. We'll tune in now with Tempest, our current kill leaders left in the lobby, and see how they're going to tackle the likes of Ents. All quiet from the members of Tempest, possibly trying to keep very, very situated and focused on what lies ahead to the north. They still have to also worry about Phantom of Adept still over towards the east. He was able to find the tag down onto Wookie Bookie, but now Ents starts to get a little bit of aggressive towards the forces down to the south. They're getting out some flashes, getting out a few frag grenades as well, and seeing just what they can take care of before the collapse ultimately pushes behind their backside. Tom was able to get up to the next bit to deflate. His teammate Clib, unfortunately, not able to find the same position. Out goes Tempest, though. A quick peek over the hill by Rustedmar will be eliminating that squad in 3rd place position. Phantom, the solo player of Adept, tries to stay alive, tries to take on the entirety of Ents and claim 1st place, but it's going to be the 4-stack of Ents that maintains that presence and walks away with a beautiful 19-point chicken dinner, Dave, to kick off the 303 Esports Pro League Season 2 for the European region.
I mean, Talmill trying to clutch it out there at the end to do their online victory dance, as we got to see them do multiple times at LAN, able to get their squad a third place there, but Phantom able to just survive 4 kills to their name, the only player on the squad to get any type of kills, plus those placement points are going to be phenomenal in our game number 1. And still, the winners of the game here on Miramar getting that nice chicken dinner along with some kills. Big shout out to Ross Nose for dropping some bits during that game. I mean, the action was just insane. It kind of just went off the rails once when all those teams had to push out there into the East Esquire, and we were watching FaZe. We saw FaZe get into a couple engagements. They got taken down in 5th place. What a great game number 1. Highlight of the game was that motorcycle run over for me.
Oh, totally.
That was something else.
That was definitely, at the very least, Dave, that was the most clippable moment, I think, of game number 1. But it certainly was an interesting game. Like you said, a lot of teams kind of facing off against some factors maybe they didn't expect that early on. One of those teams that definitely stuck out in my mind was going to be Team Liquid. Boy, when they tried to take over Power Grid, Northern Lights slid right in there before Ibiza could scout it out. And from that point on, that really sealed the fate for Team Liquid. They weren't able to get out of that rotation. They weren't able to get out of that location because of every other team starting to collapse around them. And then another squad that was sort of met with some early game difficulties was WTSG. Those are 2 teams that coming into game number 2 are really going to have to put something together to try to wipe the slate clean of this match. We talked about it. You can always kind of put those bogey games away. But when we're talking about those 2 teams in particular, 2 of what fans would say are probably the strongest coming into this tournament, the strongest teams from the European region, you got to put the pedal to the metal and start to at least, put up the stats as well. We'll see what they're going to be able to come up with, though, in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of bad. I was coming into the tournament saying, "Welcome to South George." They're gonna be mopping the floors with every single team here. They get taken down in 16th place. I feel like that's my fault. I put too much pressure on them. I'm not
All
worried
right,
about
so
it.
blame
though.
Dave. Blame Dave.
Me.
That's
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
As long as you also blame me by donating bits and highlighting your message, that's fine. We're gonna have 17 more maps to go. I do believe we have a winner chicken dinner interview here with one of the members from Ents here. Just getting the confirmation on that one. And yep, it's gonna be Squeaky Esquire.
Hey, Squeaky, congratulations on the first victory of the 303 Pro League. How's it feel to pick up that win?
Thank you. It feels good always. To start the league with the win, it's always big like a bonus, I would say.
Totally. So I got to ask you, you guys weren't necessarily, at least trending towards phase number 5. You guys weren't in a great position, but it was a late game shift that really set you guys up to kind of control that area. What was going on in your guys' comms? What was going on in your guys' head once you started to see the circle come towards you?
Like before Circle 4, like we knew that it's gonna went to the south to the Pekara side, like that was fairly certain. That and I think we had one game like a year ago or somewhere that I just remembered exactly. Okay, they never ends Pekado, so it normally ends on the ridges in front of the Pekado. So we went with that call because like you don't want to send the Pekado like at the phase 5 because there's gonna be there's gonna be teams waiting for you. So you just have to like kind of hope that you will get like the sixth circle yoink or 7th circle yoink. So we just play from that.
All right, Squeaky. First of all, like Esquire said, congrats on the first chicken dinner here. I love to hear your voice and see you guys performing once again. I mean, last time I saw you, I think we were in an airport eating muffins together. And
yeah, I remember that.
Where was that? You were going to Finland, right?
It was Finland, yeah, because you were flying back to the States after. Yeah.
What a good time. How you been holding up, though, man? How you been holding up? I mean, all together, you and the squad.
Good. Like we had the rough phases on like 2 and 3, but now with the new lineup, everything is going smooth. We're having fun and just like enjoying playing PUBG together. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Hey, Squeaky, I mean, that's all, just come to these games, have fun. You guys are doing great. 17 more games to go. Keep it up. Don't let off that gas momentum. You have anything you want to say to anyone watching before we send it to our break?
Kiitos kaikille suomalaisille kannustajille ja spammikää ensin logot chatissa. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure not to go anywhere. We're going to have our admin set up the next lobby, and we will be right back with some more PUBG.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 303 Esports Pro League Season 2 for the European region. My name's Esquire, joined here by Mustache Dave. Game number 1 is in the books, and what an exciting game it was, Dave. Dave, he's probably getting some tea. So we'll walk through it one more time. Game number 1, we saw the members events, the 4 members events, yes, walk away with the first victory of Season 2, a dominant way to at least start the league. And as you heard it, they were pretty sure, at least around the middle of that game, that things were going to go their way. The reposition came in, and they claimed victory. Game number 2, though, is going to be a journey back to Miramar, back to the deserts, where these squads will have another opportunity to possibly shore up some of those weaknesses that they were able to identify in that first match of the day. Will we get another fair playing path? Will we get another centralized phase number 1? Are certainly 2 questions that are going to be on our minds as we get closer and closer and closer to that second match. I'll see if Dave is back just yet. Dave, you there?
Yeah, of course. I'm always
How
here.
you doing, Dave? How's the tea? What kind of tea were you getting?
I've been drinking white tea from
Was
from
that
a
just like
store.
water?
No, it's like white tea. It's called white tea. It's very rare.
okay.
It's tea specialized from China, and I
Oh,
mixed it with
nice.
some soy milk and some honey.
Okay, very nice. Is that
You ever have
that's
like
the remedy?
is it boba tea or bubble tea? Bubble tea, right?
Yeah. But it is boba. Yeah.
Boba, yeah. So it's like that, just minus the bobas, because I don't know where to get bobas.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can make them. I think it's tapioca, the balls, the boba or whatever. It's
Yeah.
tapioca, and I actually saw that you can either order them or you can make them at home. And I think it's pretty easy. But I'll leave you to
I'll
that,
need to
Dave.
do
Maybe
that.
maybe that's going to be your next project. While we are just chilling, but I hope you guys are also having a good start to your evening, and thank you for spending it here with us at the 303 Esports Pro League. Myself and Dave, well, we're here, guys, working for bits. So as a reminder to you guys out there, if you want to donate bits to us, we would absolutely appreciate it. It goes to paying the bills and just keeping us maintaining here as we try to continue throughout this esports journey. We had some bits come in from game number 1. I believe Ross was able to donate 1,500. Shout out to you, Ross. Thank you very much for that. As well as Patrick coming in with a nice 100 bits. So thank you guys very, very much. But game number 2, Dave, it's about to get started. Is there anything you're going to be looking at as we are about to jump onto the desert?
Some more bits, probably. You know, my landlord's been knocking on my door lately. I'm like, you know what's happening. You're gonna just have to wait. I'll get you 500 bits tomorrow. And they're like, oh, fine. If I don't get your 500 bits, then you're out of here. So besides that, I'm good. I mean, another Miramar map. Surprisingly, last Miramar wasn't too boring. I'm just gonna say it wasn't too
No,
boring.
it definitely wasn't. Yeah.
We had some action pretty much throughout the whole map, and usually it's a toss up between Miramar and Vikendi. Like the early game, it's always kind of quiet. You know, teams just getting some loot, doing some easy rotates, and just pretty much camping out in compounds. But surprisingly enough, like it was a toss up. Teams were fighting nonstop. I wonder if that's because these teams haven't had the opportunity to kind of verse each other in a lobby like this before.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how much of an unknown factor is playing into the chaos that we saw in game number 1. I mean, I know that these teams, at least a majority of them, have been fairly active, at least in the online competitive scene for the last few months. So, you know, who knows? But there is always that chaos, no matter how much you try to mitigate it. Even if you are the most prepared squad in the lobby, it can still play at least somewhat of a factor in your chances to perform in a game. But game number 2, Dave, is about to pop off, and we're going to see it very shortly here as we get that lobby ready. I'm curious to see, though, how Welcome to South George is maybe just going to try to avoid any early game chaos. Make it to that mid to late game where that squad, Dave, make no mistakes about it, that squad can absolutely shine. If you're maybe selling WTSG short at this stage in the game, then you are making a big mistake.
I mean, yeah, I get a chicken dinner. They should definitely be able to come back, shake off game number 1. But we're gonna be in game number 1 or game number 2 in just a moment here. Looking forward to it.
And game number 1 or 2 rather, Dave. Dave.
This game 4.
Game number 1. This is game number 2. All right, you troll. Here we go though. Plane path going to be sending us in a bit of a different direction this time around, and still going to be kind of maintaining that neutral favor. You know, it's a little bit angled down towards the southeast of things, but it's not going to be throwing a wrench into too many of the plans of these squads. With that being said, though, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm looking at some skins. We got the wizard hat and the googly eyes on Furax out here, getting punched down by Shiv and Udyr, a couple of jealous teammates or opponents out there. Have you
Jealous
played?
they don't have the
Have you played
firebolts, dude.
fantasy mode? I mean, even if you haven't, it's fun, Esquire. I mean,
Dave,
I've been grinding it.
Listen, it's all I've been grinding since it came out. All right, I am a true wizard at heart, man. So fireballs and yeah. What are you talking about, Dave?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I'm
that's
saying
me right
like
there. That's pretty much me right there.
That's you. That's your alter ego.
That is pretty much what I cosplay as every night.
I'm gonna toss up between Paladin. I think Paladin's pretty good with their healing abilities. You can pretty much out heal in the blue for at least circle 5 if you have a full squad of Paladins.
Totally, yeah.
Secret out there for everyone.
Paladins, defenders of the light, Dave. Defenders of the light. Game number 2 is underway, though, and the plane path is in the air. And with it, so are the teams already getting out of the plane very quickly. Navi, no matter where the plane starts, at least so far here in this tournament, they're going to be departing very quickly out of the cargo hold and up towards that very northern location of Tierra Branca. They are going to be sailing a very vast departure from the loot location that they chose to go to in game number 1. And that's kind of curious, especially given the fact, Dave, that they likely would have been able to reach that game 1 loot location had they just stayed on the plane the entire time. But regardless, we'll track that and see how it plays in their favor.
Yeah, our observer, Little Fuzzy Seal, you can see their Twitter down there in the title, along with myself and Esquire, said they got a picture of you, Esquire, actually wearing a robe and a wizard hat. Like, that's exactly what you're wearing right now. I don't know. Give us some more bits. We'll get that picture out there for the public. Let us know if you want to see it or not.
Dave, are you like a peeping Tom in my backyard? Do you have some crazy long telephotic or whatever it's called lens that's able to catch me in my morning essence?
No, just like a year ago, I sent you a link
okay.
and you clicked it, so I downloaded a program on your computer. But besides that, let's get into this map. Game number 4, FaZe Clan gonna be dropping on into Miramar, Monte Nuevo.
Monte Nuevo, yes, the tried and tested location here for the members of FaZe Clan. This is going to be really no different from what they've been doing for the last year and a half or so of competitive PUBG esports, but shots are already going to be popping off here on the other side of the map. Here in phase number 1, it's Blaze Esports that's able to find at least a little bit of commotion here in the first 2 minutes of the game. But back to talking about what FaZe Clan is going to be looking at here as they hit the ground. Boots on the ground in Monte Nuevo. Well, so is the circle, pretty much centered on top of the fields just to the east of El Pozo. So not a bad circle for them, especially given how uncrowded, I guess you could say, the northern locations are. They're going to have pretty much free reign as long as they get through this loot rotation pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, very good circle for them. I mean, they're going to have pretty much first dibs on all these loot locations, El Pozo, Crater Fields, all these little scattered villages and towns. Like, they're going to be able to go wherever they want, at least for the first, I want to say, 4 minutes. After that, we're going to probably start to see teams with some loot try to make their way on into a more centralized location. If I am FaZe, though, I might opt to maybe loot El Pozo. And if I want to go for some placement points, maybe just camp it out on that eastern side of El Pozo, because you got to think, like, the first 2 or 3 circles have to favor it. I mean, they have to. I mean, I'm not a circle expert or anything like that, but I mean, if I had to bet some money, like, or some bits, I would definitely bet that El Pozo will be in at least until circle 4.
You know what, Dave? I wouldn't bet bits. I would just throw them our way. But regardless of that fact, I mean, yeah, FaZe can also be pretty sure that there are not going to be many teams lying to the north by virtue of the plane path. They were able to get a good view on what lied around them as they were aiming towards the ground. Another squad, though, that found themselves pretty comfortably inside of phase number 1, and well, for good reason, too, based off of that first game, is going to be WTSG. Vard going to be scouting out what lies over towards the west before pushing out in transition on the bike, but will be fairly comfortable with whatever they find as they continue on towards this direction. Again, they're pretty free and clear for WTSG to take up whatever they want, at least at this stage in the game.
Yeah, and just a reminder, there's some links in the chat from the Nightbot about the tournament information. Saturdays is going to be NA, Sundays EU. So that's how it goes with that. We mentioned a couple times we're going to have a total of 18 games so far. This lobby, there's only 1 game in, so they got 17 more games to go. As we check out Liquid in their nice little car parade, I guess you
beautiful, beautiful caravan.
Beautiful.
It was very they were showing off that team synergy that they've been able to develop with those 2 new members to the roster, Dave, K-Mind and Mixie.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Team's gonna be sending it in the Marauder right here, possibly on the hot pursuit of 6mo on that 2-seater. Looks like they're gonna be pulling off for some time being. EA, I believe, getting 7th place in game 1, all placement points, no kills. looks like Ibiza is going to be doing the quick swap, trying to get a couple shots onto 8Z, who's just honking the horn and driving away right now. Take
Yeah,
part
James.
in any of this.
James was looking like he was going to be in hot pursuit for a little while, but opted to hop out of the vehicle and try to get some shots out with his rifle. And looks like both teams are going to be able to disengage from Monte Nuevo, or at least from this engagement, while Monte Nuevo gets locked down by the members of Team Liquid. We also, as you mentioned, Dave, we saw Digital Athletics roll in on the road just in front of Team Liquid, but they pulled off. They're going to be holding on to the outskirts. Phase number 1, though, getting very, very crowded, at least on the southeastern half of the circle. The far northwestern, those barren areas with hardly any towns, but still at least some priority locations for some teams to lock up. The later and later into this phase 1 circle that we get are still going to be open for the choosing, but the centralized areas continue to remain at least very active as the Northern Lights start to solidify a position just off to the east of Monte Nuevo, almost pinching the members of phase in between Liquid and themselves.
Yeah, I mean, game number 1, you got Spiral the Dragon out here from Northern Lights. This team definitely surprising me, at least. 14 to 15 frags. Was it a one-off though? I mean, was it just pure luck, or is it just all skill? Is this just something that we need to get used to when it comes to watching the Northern Lights? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see if they can continue on with that consistency here. But regardless, they had a great game 1. They should have the momentum. Another team that we're gonna have to pay close attention to has been making some waves in EU. Omican. Looks like they're gonna be losing Vascu pretty early on. I don't know if they're gonna opt to go for the revive. We do see Page gonna be sending it with that Marauder, so it does look like they're gonna go get their felon comrade up here.
Should be able to have enough time, enough cover to be able to safely do so. As far as the war of attrition goes, definitely a negative point for Omican and a good point in the bag for the members of Liquid. A theoretical point, certainly not a literal point, but definitely a good pickup for them. I mean, whatever you can do to whittle down your opponents throughout the 30 or so odd minutes that this game will take place is going to be very important. Ibiza very recognizing of that fact and taking some very good shots in the process. Blue Zone starts to work its way in, though, towards the edges of phase number 1. 500-bit donation coming in. Jay Gallic, big shout out to you. Thank you very much for that, good sir. Hope you're having a good time and enjoying the tournament. Over here, though, near the power grid, it was a hot area in game number 1 with different teams. But in game number 2, Dave, it's going to be the same story. The members of Exalt rolling along the northern side of the power grid, facing off against Blaze inside.
I mean, you're saying it's hot. We got Blaze here, so it can't get any hotter than that. I mean, it's their name, Esquire. They're gonna be taking off power grid. You see them take some shots out there, trying to claim dominance in this compound for the time being. It is gonna be kind of on the edge of circle number 1. I saw a couple people in chat speculating on who Cash Register is from Omican. I think someone said it was Semty or Gempty. I don't know which one they said it was, but I don't know. I don't know who it is.
I think someone's feeding you some lies, Dave. We'll have to get a confirmation on that, though. I agree.
Let us
At
know.
this
I mean, we're
stage,
allowed to leak whatever, because honestly, I don't
That's
know.
true.
So if you tell me in the chat, like, I have no involvement, I'll say whatever.
I think they say that leaking requires intent. If you don't intend to leak and it leaks, then it's not really a leak. So
I didn't even know it was like a secret. I didn't even know it was a secret until I started reading the chat.
Exactly. So it would just be a mistake, and mistake is a mistake. Ents, though, going to be rolling in now, starting to inch their way closer and closer and closer to that Monte Nuevo location, which is pretty much acted like a magnet for several of the teams here in this lobby. Just approaching the 9-minute mark of the game, and all we've seen is that first knock on Omican Esports by the members of Team Liquid, but a battle is prepping back over towards the power grid as Exalt is able to find the first tag down. Down goes Lipson. Shot going to be ringing true, knocking off the head of that member of Blaze Esports.
Yep, Lipson actually going to be in cover, though, in the little shack, I guess. You are going to see them start to toss out some smokes over there. They got to play this one cautious, though, because we might see a push coming out in a confirm on the side here, but it does look like Blaze, they're actually gonna luck out here, and they're gonna get the circle as well, right there on the edge. But like I said, Esquire, you wanted to bet me 5,000 bits. I said El Pozo is definitely gonna be in circle number 2, and it looks like Welcome to South George taking my advice. They're gonna be occupying with the 2-2 split, potentially sending Merrick and Iro to regroup with the squad, and El Pozo looking like snack right now, right smack in the middle.
Definitely looking like a snack. And Dave, you were also asking me how was I going to buy those bits? Well, I was going to click that diamond down in the bottom right-hand corner of my Twitch chat and then go through that process. But yes, here in phase number 2, we're definitely going to be expecting El Pozo to get even more crowded than it is so far. FaZe Clan has not been able to really pull off to the north just yet by virtue of how many teams kind of sandwiched down on top of them here in the early stages of their match. But the shots ringing out here with Omicron Esports. They're going to be looking to try to do something here with FaZe towards the south. Uba, one of the most dominant PUBG players in the world, ladies and gentlemen. This player's skill cannot be understated whatsoever. Is going to be trying to hold on to this angle, trying to keep his team alive as they face off against this pressure coming in from the west.
Yeah, I mean, Uba has been fragging since a baby, rumors have it. And honestly, if you were to put Uba up a 1v1 tournament, I think they would come out on top. I don't care who you send them.
What about Uba versus Uba, Dave? What do you think about that matchup?
Well, it depends. Will one of them or both of them be